Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Selamat datang diucapkan kepada peserta dan juga penonton webinar Worldskills Malaysia yang sedang mengikuti siaran secara langsung menerusi platform Zoom dan juga Facebook Live Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran. Apa khabar semua? Diharapkan semua sihat pada hari ini untuk meneruskan dan menyaksikan perkongsian kita hingga ke akhir siaran. Terlebih dahulu, saya perkenalkan diri, saya Nuriah binti Zakaria, Sekretariat Unit Pertandingan SkillsMalaysia Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran JPK. Untuk makluman, siri webinar kita pada sesi petang ini merupakan edisi kelima, siri ke-10 dan yang terakhir. Kerana sebelum ini kita telah pun mengadakan perkongsian bagi bidang-bidang seperti automobil, teknologi, cooking, IT, NSA, IT software, RAC, electrical, welding, mechanical CAD dan juga pada sesi pagi tadi bersama bidang fashion technology. Memandangkan dengan kegangan pandemik COVID-19 yang melanda dunia pada hari ini, maka banyak pertandingan-pertandingan kemahiran yang telah dibatalkan dan juga ditunda pada tahun-tahun mendatang. Jadi tahun ini telah diisytiharkan oleh Worldskills International sebagai The Year of Innovation, Showcasing and Promotions. Untuk makluman, di peringkat kebangsaan, Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran berkolaborasi bersama dengan Kementerian Kerja Raya menganjurkan pertandingan Worldskills Malaysia WSMB, Worldskills Malaysia Pengajar WSMP dan juga Junior Skills Malaysia JSM itu bagi kategori menengah rendah. Manakala di peringkat antarabangsa, Malaysia aktif menyertai pertandingan-pertandingan seperti ASEAN Skill Competition, Worldskills Asia dan juga peringkat pertandingan kemahiran tertinggi iaitu Worldskills Competition WSC. Jadi pada petang ini menerusi edisi ke-10 kita akan memperdengarkan dan menyaksikan perkongsian bagi bidang beauty terapi. Jadi pakar akan berkongsi maklumat dan juga pengalaman beliau kepada semua peserta seminar berkaitan dengan mungkin teknikal dan juga aspek penganjuran sama ada di peringkat kebangsaan maupun antarabangsa. Jadi para peserta sekalian, bagi memastikan kelancaran webinar kita pada hari ini, maka ada beberapa pesanan untuk dikongsi bersama. Untuk pengetahuan sekali lagi bahawa webinar kita ini disiarkan secara langsung melalui platform Zoom dan juga Facebook Live Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran. Jadi dipohon untuk sama-sama ke semua kita untuk like dan juga share supaya ia dapat disebarluaskan lagi di media sosial. Para peserta dijemput untuk bertanya soalan di bahagian Q&A ataupun chat box. Elakkan menggunakan perkataan yang ringkas supaya nanti soalan anda itu mudah difahami oleh sekretariat dan juga peserta-peserta yang lain. Di mana soalan-soalan yang relevan kita akan pilih dan paparkan pada akhir sesi nanti. Seterusnya, e-sijil. Berkaitan dengan e-sijil, e-sijil akan diberikan kepada peserta yang mengisi borang kehadiran webinar di link berikut. Kalau di chat room, di chat atau chat box ataupun di live Facebook JPK tu kita dah pinkan link tersebut. Jadi pastikan anda tekan untuk kehadiran dan anda perlu menjawab soalan penilaian lah yang terdapat di borang kehadiran tersebut dan pastikan anda mengikuti siaran kita ini sehingga akhir. Nanti kita ada satu slot istimewa. Nantikan. Jadi agenda webinar kita pada hari ini adalah pertama sekali kita akan memperdengarkan ucapan haluan oleh pengarah bahagian pejabat pemantauan projek PMO JPK. Kedua adalah sesi pembentangan oleh pakar negara bagi bidang beauty terapi dan akhir sekali bagi sesi Q&A. Jadi para peserta dan juga penonton sekalian, tanpa melengahkan masa kita akan terus ke agenda pertama iaitu memperdengarkan paparan ucapan Puan Haja Zulia binti Darsung, pengarah bahagian pejabat pemantauan projek PMO JPK. Dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Terlebih dahulu, marilah kita sama-sama memanjatkan kesyukuran ke atas kehadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana dengan izin dan limpah kurnianya dapat kita bersama-sama hadir dalam satu lagi program perkongsian ilmu iaitu webinar Skills Malaysia 2021 yang dianjurkan oleh Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran JPK, Kementerian Kerja Raya KKR dengan kerjasama Pusat Latihan Pengajar dan Kemahiran Lanjutan SIAS Webinar ini diadakan sempena dengan tema Worldskills International Year of Innovation, Showcasing and Promotion. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, webinar Skills Malaysia 2021 dibuat dalam talian secara maya mengikut di bidang kemahiran dan kita rancangkan pada tahun ini sebanyak 20 webinar yang akan diadakan. Ianya bertujuan untuk menyampaikan maklumat bagi setiap bidang yang dipertandingkan. Maklumat pertandingan ini penting bagi memastikan semua aktiviti pertandingan di peringkat agensi dapat berjalan dengan lancar. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian, ekoran pandemik COVID-19 yang melanda seluruh negara, termasuklah Malaysia, pada tahun 2020 pertandingan peringkat kebangsaan tidak dapat dijalankan. Begitu juga dengan peringkat antarabangsa, di mana pertandingan terpaksa ditunda dan ada yang dibatalkan. Antara objektif program webinar Skills Malaysia 2021 ini adalah untuk memberi peluang kepada warga kemahiran untuk menimba pengetahuan mengenai pertandingan kemahiran, peringkat kebangsaan dan antarabangsa dari pakar yang berpengalaman dalam pertandingan peringkat kebangsaan dan juga antarabangsa. Kedua, meningkatkan pengetahuan para peserta, jurulatih dan personel pertandingan tentang technical description, test project, senarai infrastruktur, skim pemarkahan dan juga maklumat teknikal dalam pertandingan. Dan semestinya webinar ini memberi pendedahan dan maklumat awal kepada para peserta yang telah mendaftar sebagai peserta untuk menghadapi pertandingan yang akan diadakan kelak. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sasaran bagi program webinar Skills Malaysia 2021 ini adalah tenaga pengajar di pusat-pusat latihan kemahiran awam dan juga swasta, Institut Latihan Pendidikan Awam dan juga swasta, begitu juga dengan pelajar dan pengurusan. Untuk itu, saya mengucapkan tahniah kepada mereka yang mengikut program pada hari ini secara maya dan diharapkan informasi serta pelbagai maklumat dapat dimanfaatkan sepenuhnya. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian, akhir kata, setinggi-tinggi ucapan terima kasih kepada penceramah yang sudi hadir pada kali ini, berkongsi maklumat serta pengalaman yang berharga dalam program webinar ini. Harapan saya agar maklumat yang disampaikan ini dapat memberi manfaat kepada semua. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan syabas dan tahniah kepada urus Teah serta semua yang menjayakan webinar pada hari ini. Sokongan tuan-puan terhadap pertandingan kemahiran amat dihargai. Sekian, saya sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera.
Sedutan klip ucapan Puan Haja Zulia, pengarah JPK yang telah kita rakamkan lebih awal. Para peserta yang dihormati, kita akan terus ke agenda kedua iaitu sesi pembentangan dan taklimat oleh pakar negara bagi bidang beauty terapi iaitu Madam Evelyn Teah. Untuk makluman sedikit profil ringkas beliau, Madam Evelyn Teah merupakan pengarah urusan di Biolab Consultant and Partners, memiliki di LKM Cosmetology, bidang beauty and spa, berpengalaman luas, mengajar dan terlibat dalam industri kecantikan selama lebih 25 tahun. Pengalaman pertandingan kemahiran peringkat kebangsaan, beliau terlibat sebagai hakim dan penggubal soalan PKM MySkills WSMB WSMP dari 2004 hingga 2019 selama lebih kurang 15 tahun. Selain itu terlibat sebagai panel NOS Beauty Therapy, panel penilai MQA. Manakala di peringkat antarabangsa, penyertaan sebagai pakar negara di ASEAN Skills Competition ASC 2014 Hanoi dengan mendapat 2 gol, 2016 Kuala Lumpur 2 gol, 2018 Bangkok dengan 2 Medallion of Excellence. Manakala di peringkat dunia, beliau telah membawa Malaysia menyertai Worldskills Competition WSC 2015 Sao Paulo, 2017 Abu Dhabi dan 2019 di Kazan. Manakala di peringkat global yang lain menyertai juga Hong Kong Skill 2017 dan juga Global Skills Challenge Newcastle 2017. Dijemput juga sebagai juri jemputan di Saigon Regional Beauty Creative Skills Competition dari 2017 hingga 2019. Terlibat juga di Korea 54 Skills Competition 2019 dan Hanoi Spa Therapy Skills Competition 2019. Bersama kita di studio pada hari ini, kita bertuah kerana Madam Evelyn telah sudi hadir dan ada di studio bersama kita pada hari ini. Hai Madam. Hi.
Hi, Miss Moderator. Thank you.
Yes. How are you, Madam?
Oh, I'm fine. Keeping strictly to SOP.
Okay. So long time no see you, Madam. Since pandemic, we rarely to meet. Dan kita hanya meeting through online, Madam, ya?
Yes, that's right.
So apa perkembangan Madam dalam bidang beauty ni sepanjang pandemik COVID-19 ni, bagaimana bidang beauty ni Madam melihat?
Okay, we can actually go online to do a lot of training, and as long as we keep to the rules and regulation, and we are able to be in control of what is happening in the beauty therapy scene. So I'm trying to bring back the Worldskills scenario back into our national skills so that everybody knows what is happening. Yes.
Okay, so kita nak pastikan is still relevant pertandingan dan juga technical apa semua berkaitan dengan beauty therapy lah, Madam, ya?
Yes.
So untuk tidak melengahkan masa, I just get over to you.
Thank you.
Dipersilakan Madam untuk pembentangan bagi bidang beauty therapy. Dipersilakan. Okay, silakan Madam.
Alright, thank you very much,
Okay.
Ms. Moderator. We have today, my preparation is to help to prepare and let you know how to perfect your skills for the service industry and also for competition. All right, all of us must remember that training is very important. We train for excellence towards global recognitions, right? So you can actually excel in skills. You can be the best in the service sector. The opportunity is actually yours. If you master the fundamentals, that means the basic, follow the requirements and practice the standards. You must actually understand and know your role as a beauty practitioner, a manicurist, makeup artist, beauty merchandise, business employee, owner, or beauty skills competitor, and many more. Now, to be in the beauty line, there are many roles as a beauty practitioner. The environment that you can be involved in will be in the commercial sector, service sector. You will be also working together with hairdressers, fashion, media, and others. And services rendered that you can give out will be related to the face, body, feet, hands, and nails. You may also specialize in manicure, pedicure, and makeup, skincare, and so much more. Now, for all your goals, work organization and management, professional attitude, client care, and relationships are the universal attributes of the outstanding beauty therapists. Just remember, we are actually doing service to another human. So it is very important that we have all this. And the outcome is that the trained and experienced beauty therapists will take on a higher level of personal responsibility and autonomy to safeguard the health and well-being of the client through sincere effort and to provide a safe environment, especially now with the COVID-19 pandemic, and to fulfill your clients as well as to achieve satisfaction and monetary gains for jobs well done. These are the roles that will describe you as a beauty professional. Now, it is very important that in whether it is world skill, ASEAN skills, or our national skills, or even in the commercial sector, it is very important that you adopt the good practices of the beauty therapy service sector. Because we, like I said, we are servicing a human person. That means we are doing it, having our clients who can feel and who would show even on their face whether our service is up to date. All right, now to bring you back to some of the activities in our national skills. We have all the youth from many years, from past 2003 until now. Actually, the youth have give their dedications, their efforts, challenges, and fighting spirit in our national competitions. And because of this, they have tried so hard, it has made it possible for us to go global. So the achievements from the past competitions in for Malaysia, we have the first representative who represented Malaysia under KKR, that was in 2003, under the beauty care participation in St. Gallen. And then she got a certificate of appreciation. And the second one goes to Calgary, 2009, got a medallion of excellence. Her placing is number 8 in the world. And that's no other than Khairuniza from Gap Mara, Tun Razak, Bandar Tun Razak. She also got the best of nation at that time. Next comes Sia Wan Yin, who represented Malaysia in the London 2011 Worldskills. She also received a medallion of excellence, 7th world placing, and got the best of nations. Then Sao Paulo, we have one who got the 5th place, and next is Abu Dhabi. And on the ASEAN skill, we seem to have fared much better, where in Jakarta, we got a medallion, while in Hanoi, we got 2 golds. In Kuala Lumpur, we have 2 golds, and then Bangkok, we have 2 medallion of excellence. So by invitation, our competitor from 2017, that is Abu Dhabi, she represented Malaysia for the global skill, and she got a silver. And the other one is she also got a silver for Hong Kong skills. So thank you very much to all these youth who has actually shown their dedication. And this is because of what the youth has done for us. Our Malaysian youth gave their best in all the, in most of the world skill that is around the world, ASEAN as well as world skill. So you may be able to recognize some of their faces. I think some of them have got themselves jobs outside, and most of them are actually still involved in the beauty therapy sector. And quite a number of them willingly came in to help whenever they are approached to help out in the next skills, the next world skill competition. All right, beauty therapy is actually listed as the trade number 30 in the world, and the sector is under social and personal services. Now, to understand how to go about giving your best in world skills, whether it's Malaysia, ASEAN, or the global scene, you need first to understand competition rules and documentation for your trade. Okay, we are talking about the technical description. In the world scene, the technical description is actually the very important document whereby you will find everything about your trade as well as about the competition. So So the various, there are 12 of the sections, but I will concentrate on a few that will help you in your training. Now, in our training, when you're doing training, you can afford to make mistakes when you're doing training, because subsequently, you will know what has gone wrong and then you will do your best. But when you leave your training to go into the service industry, start to work and start to prepare for competitions, that is a time you should at least make mistakes, because you are assessed accordingly. Either you excel in your competition or you excel in your service trade that you are involved in. Because our clients will gauge us as to whether they would like to come back to us for service or not. Now, the technical description, which is actually a booklet, contains all skill-specific information. So because of this, we need to use this particular document together with the Worldskills Code of Ethics and Conduct, as well as the competition rules, the Worldskills Occupational Standards Framework, Worldskills Assessment Strategy, and even the online resources indicated in this document. We also have to look towards Worldskills Health, Safety, and Environment Policy and Regulations. For beauty therapy, which is listed as Trade 30, it is actually a single competitor skill competition. In the competition scene, you are alone. You have to manage, you have to prepare, you have to carry out the skills, all between you and your model, who is supposed to be your client. Now, the age limit is actually 22, but because of the pandemic 19, there is some special allocation that we will have to refer back to Worldskills. And the relevance of this, significance of this document would be, you will get information about standards required to compete in a skill competition, the assessment principles, the methods and procedures that govern the competition. Now, every expert competitor, as well as trainers, you need to know and understand this technical description. And finally, in the event of any conflict with the difference in languages, the English version will take precedence. Because right now we have a version in French, as well as a version in German. So, but when there is any discrepancy, then they will fall back to English. All right. In the most important thing that we should understand when you are actually going into a competition, that is the Worldskills Occupational Standard, WSOS, for the beauty therapy sector. So you can see that there are 7 sections. First is the work organization and management, which works out to be 8%. And then your professional demeanor, 6%. Client care and relationship, 6%. And then the actual performance skills will be based on your temporary hair removal, that takes up 10%. And then the face therapy, 30%. Body therapy, 25%. And a 15% will be given on feet, hands, nails. And that should work out to be 100%. This is actually the guidelines. Okay, this is actually the guidelines. The test project will come in different forms. And there may be what you call a combination of various skills. All right, now, listeners, I want you to take special notice, or you should emphasize on this particular section, that is work organization and management. You might be wondering, what has it got to do with the beauty sector? It has plenty, because when you are at the competition ground or when you are actually in the training center, you need to learn how to manage the situation, especially now during this pandemic, COVID-19. What do? You have to follow the SOP. So the health, safety and hygiene legislation, rules and regulations should be applied to the beauty therapy industry. The range and purposes of your tools and electrical instruments used in each of the beauty treatments, how to use them, how to maintain them, and how to store them securely. So this is actually knowledge, the knowledge. You must understand the knowledge, and then how do you actually use care, potential risks associated, how to understand what is a risk, what kind of care and emergency cases. And then this is related to like products, your cosmetics and their ingredients. And it is always very important that you follow the what you call manufacturer's instructions. Professional ethics is another one, that you need to know what kind of job you can take and what kind of job you can't take if it needed medical attention. And principles of ergonomics in managing work area, your trolley arrangement of tool set. You must understand theoretically how to arrange your work area. What are the products, or what are the tools and equipment that needed to be set up for that particular task. And for each what you call task, you need to know the timing. If it is given 20 minutes, you need to organize your time, right? And then, all right, there's one on how a business works, including the role of targets. Your business, or even as a competitor, whatever you are doing is like a business to you. Towards the end of this webinar, I hope you understand why I refer your training and your management as if it is your business. And then the role of individual in maintaining a successful business. If you can service your clients well, you practice the SOP and you do the right things for your client, you make your clients happy, they will come back to you. So that is actually business. And your professional development, some of you may just start off as after the competition or after the training, you may just start off as an employee. You work for someone. But one fine day, when you have mastered the art of running your own salon, you will be your own boss. And there is another thing that you must be aware of, how to adapt to regulations of different countries. Especially, this is related to when we go on to an ASEAN competition or to a global scene, or if you are invited to demonstrate in another country, we have to adhere to that particular country's regulations. And the importance of maintaining environmentally sustainable practices, ABC. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about sustainability, because in Kazan, we have actually started on that, sustainability. What is actually sustainability? I'll come to that later. All right, now this is still work organization and management. In the technical description, there's one that the individual shall know. That means you need to have the theory, you need to have the knowledge. Then the next thing, you must translate your knowledge into practice. That means you don't only understand the theory part of it. When you actually carry out that particular task, you need to practice. You need to carry out whatever that you know. So in this case, we were talking about the health, safety, and hygiene requirements theory. You should be able to carry out, that means you should be able to prepare the area for whatever task that you are doing. Your trolley setup, your work area, you are given a limited work area. You are not supposed to overstep, pushing your trolley over to another place. You need to work within the confined area that is given to you. And then you must comply to manufacturer's instructions. When you get a machine, the first thing you do is to read the machine for information, and then you carry out accordingly. And you the other thing is, just now when we are talking about the ergonomics, that means when you organize your trolley, when you arrange your products or your machine on the trolley, you need to know what you are going to use first and what you are going to use after, the sequencing, right? And recommend and advise on products as you are providing service to your client or your models. You need to inform your models or your clients what you're going to use next. But of course, you have at your own discretion, because you are actually in an open area. You are not to talk at the top of your voice, but you are going to sometimes use a sign language. If let's say you would like your client to look up when you're doing the eyelashes, you just show a sign to make your client understand what you want to do with her. And then provide aftercare, retail, keep up to date with industry trends, technology, advanced product. Now, this is very important to trainers. We have machines that gives you only the basic handling, very basic. But nowadays with technology, more new machines are coming in. So as long as you understand the basic, then it is easy for you to learn the new technologies, because the basic is always there. And you must carry out treatments. Again, here it says, by adopting environmentally sustainable practices. I'll come to that now on sustainability. Okay, we have finished with work organization and management. Now is a professional demeanor. This is the way you conduct yourself, okay? And whether you make your clients comfortable, or if you're working in a very limited area, especially in a competition ground, do you consider the next person who is working in her own place? Do you push your trolley over to her area? All this must be practiced in a very, what you call a convenient way, not only to yourself, but not to inconvenience others. And then at the same time, you must have a professional image, all right? So when we talk about personal, professional image, the theory part of it, the practical part of it is you need to look after your personal hygiene, all right? With regards to your new uniform, your grooming, and then your interpersonal skills. When you need to signal someone, do you speak at the top of your voice, or do you just go over and take whatever you need from her place? And then we are always with stress, especially when we are under training or if you are in, doing servicing. So do you manage your stress effectively? And of course, it is important that you have a balanced lifestyle with regular exercise so that you can be doing a better job the next day. All right, now the third one that you should pay much attention to will be client care and relationship. how do you make your client feel? Or how do you make your model feel? Are you looking into her comfort? Are you looking into her modesty and discretion? Do you cover her well? Because in a competition, it's in an open area. So you need to actually look after her. You know why? Because you need to cover her properly with a blanket, or, and then you make sure that nothing is supposed to be seen. Places or parts of the bodies that are supposed to be covered, you need to, especially when you're doing body massage or even a waxing for a thigh or lower leg. How do you actually look after her? If you make your client or your model comfortable, then the model will feel very relaxed and you could continue with the service. But if you are not aware of all this, then your client or your model will not cooperate with you. And while you are what you call carrying out your services, some products may be too sensitive for your client's skin. Now, if you realize that a part of the skin has turned red, and then, or you have accidentally burned the skin when you're doing waxing, what do you do next? And how are you going to manage? You cannot ignore, all right? You have to pay a lot of attention to it. And there must be what you call proper forms, appropriate forms, and style of communicating with clients of different cultures, ages, expectation, and preferences. So whatever you're doing, you have to make sure that your correct treatment plans are designed holistically. Okay, there are so many things that you need to know and understand when it comes to client care and relationship. You need to understand why is that person not feeling comfortable lying down for so long. And then you must also understand the skin conditions. So it is so important that you understand the skin anatomy, even on the nails, you must understand, all right? And you must actually provide client services in a professional, safe, and hygienic manner. You meet and you greet. You need to say hello, you need to introduce yourself, and then you welcome them. So for whatever it is, client care and relationship means their experiences with you must be relaxing and memorable. That means they will come back. Because from their body language, very important that you learn to study their body language. When a client is feeling uncomfortable, if you are not covering the client well, and your client move around and start to pull and tug at blankets or covers, what do you do? So you have to be very sensitive about it, all right? And on top of that, you also need to, what you call, you need to really recognize the contraindications when you are doing a consultation. And then you need to actually adapt accordingly. In a competition, you need to be very brave. If you find that you have got a client or a model that is suffering from a serious skin problem, just inform the organizers, okay? All right, now the third part of it is like, you know all the knowledges, all the theory. You must also know how to go about doing what you're supposed to do. Like in this case, if a client were to come in and say, oh, I've got a dinner tonight, I would like to have a simple makeup done. So you need to advise on the colors, the style, products, and how to care for the skin and the body. And you need to advise on all treatments. That means you pre-inform your model or your client what you're supposed to do next. Now, you maintain positive contact with clients throughout their treatments. You need to do that to understand how they are responding to your treatment. And after the session, of course, in the competition, you will have no time to ask for their feedback from your models, but you need to learn this, because if you don't get a verbal feedback, you can actually look at their body languages, recognize the body languages. And finally, you ensure a positive departures for clients, meaning to say you meet, greet, and you need to send your client back to where you take them from, whether it's a client or a model. And after which, if you are in your own business, you need to follow up consultations and determine client satisfaction. Now, this technical description describing about the WSOS, the specific standards and specification, it can be used. It is very wholesome. It can be used not only in your competitions or in your training. It can be used when you are carrying out a business on your own, or when you are working for another person. All right, now, just now I did mention that when I was talking about the work organization and the preparations, and then your personal demeanor, client care and relationship, we are actually talking about sustainability. Now, lately in Kazan, we have this topic on sustainability, in a sense that we must follow, we must know how to use the correct amount of products, and you must know, we must make sure whatever you dispose of, it mustn't harm the environment. So what happens in Kazan is that everybody is given a box full of things that is supposed to be used for the full 4 days of competition. You are supposed to manage that box on the number of towels, on the facial cotton, and whatever that is given to you. You are supposed to manage and see how much to use. Now, don't forget, if you finish using half of the things that are given to you on the first day, then you have problem, because your second day, your third day, or even your fourth day, you still need these materials. So even machines are given to you, right? This is what I mean by sustainability. We are on a cost saving, all right? And we must look after the environment, not only the people, but on also the economy, right? So, all right. I have finished with the first three. We are actually coming into the actual skills, all right? The actual skills will be temporary hair removal. Now, there's something that I would like to inform you is that temporary hair removal has taken a stage further. We used to have the normal wax and strip, where you apply the wax and then you strip off. There are new technologies where there's no strip involved. So Mr. Google is there. Open up Mr. Google and just Google temporary hair removal, new techniques, and then you understand what I mean, right? So in temporary hair removal, the individual needs to know and understand. That means your knowledge is so important. Hair, skin types, structures, skin and hair conditions, products, equipment required to undertake waxing, all right? Undertake your waxing, and then the procedures, all right? And the importance of practicing the correct methods, because blood and bodily fluids should be dealt cautiously. You know, this blood and fluid, bodily fluid, is the cause of spreading infection. So what happens when you actually carry out a hair removal and you find that that place is a bit harsh and it has torn off a bit of the skin? What do you do? So you need to understand all the emergency procedures too. And knowing the hair structures and the waxing equipment, as well as the products, you must be able to handle it. How do you actually start using the wax on your client? You have to follow your hygiene specifications, where you prepare, how do you prepare, and how do you test before you actually do it on the client. You must learn all this, right? And then you must also understand when you are doing the testing, you will be able to understand their tolerance level. Some people can go for very hot or heat tests, but some people can't. So be very sensitive and emphasize on this. And of course, the products comes with a manufacturer's instruction. Read and understand how do you do before it. So after you have applied and removed wax or sugar, what do you do? Do you just leave it? What are the aftercare? Because now you are actually having contact services, you're touching your client. So, and in what direction do you apply the wax? All these are so important, all right? And important thing is you don't waste. This is where the sustainability comes in. You cannot put too much wax or use up too much, otherwise you're not able to complete a certain area of the body. And how do you remove? The procedures are so important. Again, you also minimize the usage throughout the entire process. All right? So it is important that you need to understand this particular service on waxing. And how do you remove? How do you actually remove the extra hair? Because some very fine hair will never be removed. How do you do it? And what do you use to do it? And even eyebrow hairs, when you're shaping your eyebrows, what do you do? What do you use? And how do you go about doing the procedure? And you need to offer aftercare and retail advice. This is when you are actually in the commercial sector, right? So this is about your temporary hair removal. Now, the next, actually the temporary hair removal gives you a total of 10 marks, 10%. And then you come to the face. When it comes to the face therapy, it takes up about 30%. And you need to understand preparation. That means each time you do the work organization and preparation, you have to refer to the service that you are doing. If you are doing a face, what do you do? And not only knowing the procedures on the preparation, you must understand the anatomy and physiology of the face and head, and the contraindications, and what are the safety procedures that you are using when you are actually conducting an electrical therapy. How do you actually handle the machines, right? And you must understand the different skin types, conditions, and how they should be treated. Or the what you call problems relating to the use of chemicals near the eyes. This is about lash extension. You are using some strong chemicals So what are the safety procedures that you need to know? And how do you actually do a therapy for the face, the eye, as well as the lip? And you also need to understand when it comes to face, it involves makeup, the correct color, and the tones, and what is it that you are trying to achieve. If it's supposed to be a night makeup, evening makeup, fantasy makeup, does it mean you are using the same basic techniques, but a different way of showing the desired outcomes? And you must understand the current trends and fashion in makeup. And you need to know how to solve problems independently. Now, the face, besides that, when you are actually doing a treatment on the face, you need to do it in a very professional, a safe and hygienic manner. And you must understand product ingredients and the product do's and don'ts as stated in the manufacturer's instruction. Get some training before you start touching them. And you must identify the correct methods of client preparation for facial treatments. You must always remember that comfort and modesty will have to come in when it is for the beauty sector. You need to do pre-treatment consultations. In this case, you do a skin analysis, their needs, indication, contraindications, and what kind of skincare routines are you offering. And you must, just now we were talking about the electrical equipment. You must understand how do you prepare, what do you do, how do you prepare the client, how do you prepare the machines. And with that consultation and skin analysis, you will then know what to do when you are actually carrying out the procedure. And you can select products according to gender, race, or even the color tones, the age group. Now, for the face, as a therapist or as a competitor, you need to understand facial treatments using special skincare products and electrical treatment to meet clients' needs. And then you carry out a range of eyebrow and eyelash tinting, shaping, according sometimes to meet clients' requirements. And you are supposed to apply makeup, able to make up for a range of occasions, including night, day, bridal, fantasy styles, etc. Now, how do you go about arranging or applying false eyelashes, whether it's strip, cluster, or individual? And at the same time, safety is very, very important, all right? Because you are dealing with the eye area. And if you are in business, you recommend follow-up salon treatments. And again, sustainability. So you see in the technical description for every section, sustainability work practices have been emphasized. That means you've got to be economical, you have got to be environmentally aware, and you've got to be also the people. That means money spent, okay, and you cause no harm to the person, you cause no harm to the environment, and you save where you can, all right? You use whatever that you need. So this is all about the face. Then you have the body. Now, when it comes to the body, again, you need to know preparations, you need to know organization, you need to know the anatomy and physiology of the body system. You need to understand the body types, the muscle tone, structure, and so on. And of course, the importance of following procedures in using the electrical instruments or electrical machines for the body, you need to understand. And how you handle the machines is also very important. Now, one important aspect of the body treatments will be the body massage. So you must understand various body treatments, massage treatments. Is it for relaxing? Are you asked to do a relaxing massage? Or are you asked to a special massage? So all this you need to know. You need to know the timing too. And you need to understand mechanical massage techniques using electrical equipments or handheld apparatus. And it's very important that you must understand the cultural differences and requirements. That means from the race, from the various people from different countries, they come in, they may like certain procedures, they may not be able to do certain procedures. You must be aware of that. You need to consult with the client or consult with your models. And you need to, if you are supposed to do a slimming session, then you need to analyze the body. And most importantly, you need to meet the needs of the clients. Having said that, like I said, beauty therapy service is a contact service where you touch the skin. So you need to be very professional. You need to practice safe and hygienic manner. Okay, you need to make sure your personal hygiene is followed. And then the products, you must understand the manufacturer's instruction on the products used as well as on the electrical. And you need to do a consultation so that you can understand what the client needs, what are the contraindications, right? And then you need to do a proper, because sometimes when you do a body, what you call treatment, you do cover the face. So in that case, the face, you still need to do a skin analysis. Once you've done that consultation, then you can refer back to the consultation form as you go along to do the various treatments. All right. And selecting, again, products for skin type, age, gender, and client's needs. So avoid product wastage. When we talk about sustainability, we are always talking about wastage. Never use too much of a product for a certain procedure. What is enough, right? And home care advice, retail advice, or follow-up treatments. Now, all these are actually geared towards if you are working for someone or if you are having your own business. If in the competition, it is good to know that there are such things that you need to know, but in the actual Worldskills, what you call scene, we do not recommend or advise, given this retail advice to the client on the spot. But if you are asked to do a consultation on a piece of a form, then you need to put in as required. All right, the final one, we have finished the body and face. I would like to stop here for a while. We may have to take a short break. But think about what I tell you just now. I've done already 6 sections of it. And later on, I will give you a short briefing on what you should do. All right. Why am I going into details for these 7 sections? How does it help your training? Like I said, remember what I said earlier. In a training, you can afford to make mistakes. But if you are in a competition, mistakes are no good for you. All right? So I'm going to take 5 minutes. Our Miss Moderator has something very exciting for you. Thank you.
Okay, para peserta, kita hentikan seketika untuk sesi pembentangan bersama Madam. Kita akan ambil masa 5 minit saja untuk kita bagi Madam rehat sekejap. Jadi kita akan memberi laluan kepada selingan kuis. Selingan kuis ni sebab kita nak menguji pengetahuan pendengar, penonton berkaitan dengan pertandingan kemahiran. Dan di mana nanti pertandingan ni nanti kita akan bagi giveaway lah. Kita akan bagi hadiah kepada 3 peserta dengan menjawab paling tepat dan paling pantas. Okey. Jadi kalau yang sedang menonton jangan lupa kita dah pun pinkan link untuk kuis. Sudah ya Sekretariat? Okey. Kedua-dua link tersebut boleh dilihat pada chat room anda kalau di Zoom dan juga di ruangan komen Facebook anda. Cuba tengok dan terus tekan link dan terus jawab soalan kuis. Tak silap saya dalam 10 soalan dan kita bagi masa 5 minit saja. Ya, 5 minit saja untuk para peserta menjawab. Kalau dah masuk tu terus jawab je. Nanti kita akan, dia simple dia dalam bentuk Excel. Ya, 10 soalan yang mengunci tentang pengetahuan anda semua tentang pertandingan kemahiran, bukan bidang beauty sajalah, maksudnya secara general. Jadi masa soalan tu pun kalau boleh kalau nak dapat hadiah tu secepat yang mungkin lah. Ya, okay. So sebab oleh kerana ini adalah sesi terakhir kita, jadi kita bermurah hatilah nak bagi giveaway kepada peserta-peserta yang sedang menonton secara live. Teruskan menjawab. Ya, dan hadiah tu nanti kita akan postkan kepada pemenang-pemenang yang kita akan bagi tahu siapa di penghujung siaran nanti. Okey, teruskan menjawab. Ada yang menjawab? Ya, tu ada link quiz tu. Tengah jawab agaknya link quiz tu simple je. Link quiz webinar beauty terapi. Ada kat bawah tu kan, terus tekan. Cubalah ya, cuba jawab. Kerana ini adalah yang terakhir untuk fasa yang pertama ni lah. Mungkin kita nanti akan umumkan bagi fasa kedua siri webinar. Jadi kita kalau nak ikutkan bagi siri-siri lain tu tak ada pun kita bagi giveaway. Jadi untuk 2 sesi pada hari ini, itu fashion pagi tadi dan juga petang ini bagi beauty terapi, memang kita nak bagi sesuatu lah kepada pendengar, penonton yang sedang mengikuti siaran secara langsung menerusi Zoom dan juga Facebook Live. Bagaimana Sekretariat ada? Ada yang jawab Cuba je. Jangan Alah simple je kata orang kan. Mana tahu ada luck ke dapat lagi giveaway. Hadiah pertama. Hadiah nanti kita post kat adanya hadiah misteri, tapi satu yang boleh diguna pakailah ya dalam kehidupan seharian dan special tu sebab dia adalah nanti kita akan postkan package percutian tak bagi pun pandemik kan. Tak adalah. Okey, jadi nanti berkaitan data tuan-tuan, puan-puan, ada tuan ke? Okey, kita sudah ada data sebab tadi dah buat pendaftaran kan? So nanti kita akan postkan. Okey, masa dah sampai ke macam mana Sekretariat? Lagi 2 minit lagi. Lagi 2 minit lagi, teruskan menjawab. Kalau mungkin kalau jawapan anda sama tepat dengan seseorang tu ataupun seorang peserta, katalah 8/10, 8/10, tapi nanti kita akan sort ikut masa pula siapa yang lebih pantas. Kalau kata yang dapat nombor 1 maka mungkin sama, tapi ikut time jugalah. Kalau yang peserta A tu menjawab dengan lebih pantas, maka dia yang akan dapat yang pertama. Macam itulah ya. Nanti kalau kadang-kadang mungkin jawapannya samalah dapat markah tu. Okey. Okey, hadiah menarik menanti anda. Bukan dapat sijil je, dapat hadiah lagi hari ni. Dah ada dah countdown Okey, kita dah boleh buat countdown ke Sekretariat? Okey, kalau boleh buat countdown, kita nak countdown lah, nak tutup sesi kuis kita pada hari ini. Okey, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, jangan lupa tekan butang submit. 1. Okey, tamat. Okey, tamat sesi kuis kita. Kita cuma ambil 5 minit je masa anda. So, kita nak kira dulu dan sementara itu kita get over balik kepada Madam Evelyn untuk sedikit lagi sambungan tentang pembentangan beliau. Okey, Madam, dipersilakan. Share. Boleh ada bantuan ke? Sebentar ya, kita nak get over balik kepada slide daripada Madam. Okey. Yang dah jawab tu nanti kita akan umumkan sebentar lagi. Okey, Madam, teruskan dari feet, hands and nails tadi, teruskan sambungannya. Silakan.
Alright. So welcome back. Wish you all the luck in the quiz just now. So, okay, we are coming back to the last section that you should know of. That will be your feet, that is pedicure, hands, manicure, and nails. These nails could be for what you call fantasy nails, you know, where you are given the opportunity to actually create a design that is specified. Now, in this case, the individual will need to know and understand the skin and the nail infections and problems. Because sometimes certain nails, you are not allowed to touch it because you will have, you look at the nails and you know that there might be ingrown toenail or even, you know, some problematic disease. So you must know how to recognize and not touch it at all. Then you need to understand the anatomy of your hand, feet, and nails, healthy and safe use of chemical products. And then, of course, you need to know the manicure and pedicure procedures and the treatments, the maintenance and repair of natural and artificial nails, and how do you actually apply the nail applications and your nail art. How do you create? What are the products that you are using? And the fashions, as well as the current trends and fashions in all nail services. And you need to prepare areas. This is the work organization and preparation that you need to do. And of course, you must know the ergonomic arrangement whereby when you put the products, which are the products that you are going to use first? They should be as near to you as possible. That's the reason. And then how do you actually conduct spa manicures and pedicure treatments using a full range of treatments and products to meet clients' needs? And of course, you will need to know how to carry out the treatments, how to exfoliate, how to remove cuticles, what to apply to soften the cuticles, the massage, and then the masking, as well as the applications, varnish application. It could be just a plain application. It could be just an application with design that's fantasy, or even a French nail. And then how do you go about doing the art designs? Gel nails, how do you cure them? By using the blue UV curing light. And then how do you actually apply nail tips for fantasy makeup? And then apply a range of new systems? How do you offer aftercare? And then how do you avoid wastage? This is again talking about sustainability. Now remember, as I mentioned, sustainability is the one big section concern for Worldskills and then also to be practiced in salons. You have to think of how to not to waste products, no wastage, and then you have to think about not how to what you call this removal, okay, the waste removal. How do you do it? And then the people, all right? Okay, so far we have done 7 sections. Now, later on, I'm going to share a slide with you when we talk about the sections. When it comes to assessment, how does the section apply? Because the first 3, that is work organization, preparation, personal disposition, personal demeanor, client care, these 3 carries 20 marks. Remember, put this in your mind, especially for agencies or training schools who are trying to train their competitors. 20 marks. And this is always the weakness of most of the competitors as well as the trainees. Because you go straight into an actual test project. For example, you are doing face. So you, up in your mind, you may be thinking that I'm doing a face therapy. So I must concentrate all on the face. Yes, you do that for the performance skill. But while you are doing it, work management, your preparation, your client care, as well as the personal demeanor, all this carries marks in each and every test project. So many of you lose such marks. And when it is 20 marks and you have 20 marks gone from your 100 marks, that means you are just basing your what you call achievements from the 80 marks. We noticed that even my jury panel noticed that you all don't pay enough attention on these 3. Although the marks separately, it is 8 marks work organization, 6 marks on the personal demeanor, 6 marks on the client care. It's spread out. But when you conduct the face therapy, the body therapy, the temporary hair removal, makeup, your pedicure, your manicure, and your lash extension, all these 3 will come into the marking scheme. So please take note on things like this. All right? So I'm going to lead you on to the assessment. Now, in what you call Worldskills, ASEAN skill, or our national skill, we have actually moved to this what you call new assessment scheme for the last 3 years. So let me explain a little on this assessment marking. The types will be 1, measurement. When it is measurement, the old marking scheme is called actually objective. So it comes with a yes or no. All right. And then for both types, there is a benchmark against which to access, which expect, and is essential to guarantee quality in your knowledge and performance. Remember the 2 keywords, knowledge and performance. That means you have the knowledge, you must put the knowledge into practice. That is called a skill. Right? The marking scheme must follow the weightage or the weightings of WSOS within the standards. The difference is only maybe 2. All right. Measurement, normally we go for 70%, and the judgment is 30%. you can go 32.68. So that is the benchmark, all right? Now, for integrity and fairness of the marking scheme and test project, for Worldskills, even ASEAN Skill, it is developed by one or more independent people with relevant expertise. The marking scheme and the test projects will not be seen by experts or the jury until immediately before the start of the skill competition or the competition module. Remember, the last one is no compatriot marking in any circumstances. Compatriot here means if you, I'm talking about Worldskills, if you are a Malaysian competitor, your Malaysian expert who also acts as a jury will be unable to do any marking for you. This is to ensure fairness. All right? So be very, very sensitive to issues like this. Now, I actually, because I have gone, my experience is that I've gone for ASEAN and Worldskills. So what I do is I adopt, or rather JPK has also instructed us to adopt the scenario on what we practice and bring it back to Malaysia. So in our competition, we are doing that. If you are chosen as one of the jury panel for our national skill, and you so happen have a competitor who is connected to you, then you are not allowed to do the marking. So in the jury panel, there are always 3 + 1. That means 3 members to do the marking. Why 3? Later on, you will understand. One more will be the team leader. So in our Malaysian national skill, the Ketua Hakim, the chief judge, will be the one standing in. If you have a competitor, you have to tell so that the 4th person will stand in to do the marking for you. That is the meaning of no compatriot marking in any circumstances. All right. Now we look at judgment assessment first. Judgment assessment means it's subjective, meaning to say that each and every of the jury will look at the result of your work, and he or she will have his own way of interpreting what you do. So the judgment uses a scale of 0 to 3. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. So the benchmark is always there. Where the benchmark will be in words, that means there's a description. For example, the trolley setup is set up accordingly. For example, the trolley is set up accordingly for facial therapy. All right. So there will be some notes to say that to describe what is the meaning of setting up the trolley. What is to come first? What is to come next? That is, sometimes it is also seen in photos. We will take a photo and put it up. All right. Now look at the scale of 0 to 3. 0 means performance below industry standard. We always use the industrial standard. And then 1 is you meet the standard. 2 will be you meet, and in specific respect, you are better than the industry standard. And 3, you are excellent. So during this kind of assessment, the 3 experts or jury or judges, they will record their scores accordingly using only 0, 1, 2, 3. They put it into the column. And then towards the end, there is a way to counter balance whatever that's been given. All right. This is a judgment type assessment. Take a look. In the assessment sheet, marking sheet, for example, French Polish application, a total mark of 1.2. All right. When it's 1.2, it means you are excellent. You get a 1.2. And then 0 means the application is very uneven, lumpy. The side of the nails on the cuticles, even you find colors there. Overall, the polish touches the skin. That is 0. And then 1 will be, the application is not smooth and even. The free edge has slight variation in depth and shape. The pink varnish is not smooth and even with slight variations at the cuticle edge. That means to the jury, they can still accept what you do, that you are just, you are just doing your job, and it is not so such a horrible application as the first one. And then number 2, smooth pink and white application, slight variation in the smile line. When a smile line can be rounded, curved, or it can be U-shaped, or it can be a straight shape, all right? That's how, from your display, yeah? And then finally, everything is good, smooth, even for both white and pink. The edge is up to, but not touching the cuticle side of skin. The cuticle edge is a clean and crisp line. The smile line and depth of the polish is equally matching across 10 nails. When you get a 3, that means when a jury award you a 3, means you are getting a maximum mark of 1.2 for French polish application. Right. It is not easy to give you a 0. Let me tell you, it's not easy to give you a 0. But if finally all the 3 judges decide that it's a 0, then you get no marks. You get a 0 totally. So this is the judgment type, meaning to say every jury has a different look at how you do it. So what happens if the 3 jury will already give you a scale each? Huh? Now let's look at the next one. Understanding the rule, scenario 1. Okay, I hope the trainers are around. Do this with your girls or with the boys who are learning, taking up beauty therapy. Now, you have 3 experts, 1, 2, 3, or jury 1, jury 2, jury 3. 1 gives you a scale 1. That means you get 1. Expert 2 gives you a 3, excellent. Expert 3 gave you a 2. So you have 1, 3, and 2. Look at this scenario. There is a maximum scale of 3. 3 is the highest, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. You gave a 3. And then look at the lowest. The lowest is expert 1. She gave a 1. So the benchmark is we always use the highest to take away the lowest. That means 3 minus 1, there is a scale of 2 difference. All right? Remember, this is not valid. Because a piece of work, when it is being judged, cannot differ so much. The scale is allowed is only 1. So what happens when there is a difference of 2? Then there is the team leader or the chief judge will sit in, and then, or sometimes the jury themselves will solve this problem. They will look into the notes that they have written, because each time you do a marking, you need to give a note, or sometimes you take a photograph. You have to keep all this. And then they will look into it. And sometimes the one who gave a 1 and say, oh yeah, I overlooked that. So what I can do is I can go up to 2. So if it is a 2, 3, 2, maximum is 3, you take away the lowest is 2, difference is 1. You can accept it. There is going to be a lot of arguments. There's going to be a lot of agreements. but there must be an agreement in the end. That is scenario 1. Now, looking at scenario 2 is very straightforward. Jury 1 gives a scale 1. Sorry, I put down jury when earlier on I put expert. Actually, it means the same person. Huh? So jury 1 is scale 1, jury 2 is scale 1, jury 3 is scale 2. So in this case, the maximum is 2, the minimum is 1. So 2 minus 1, there is a difference of 1. So we allow it and we accept. But when we accept, you may want to know, how do we actually collect? How do we actually award marks? If it's a 1, just now earlier on is a 1.2 for 3. So it is a 0.4. So in this case, jury 1 will put a 0.4, jury 2 will 0.4, jury 3 will give 0.8. So 0.4 plus 0.4 plus 0.8, it will be 1.6. The final mark will be 1.6 divided by 3. That's how we come to a final conclusion. All right, this is judgment. Now, the most important thing is, and the most marks that you get will be from your measurement, objective of yes or no. Again, 3 experts or 3 jury are expected to be in the team with the chief supervising. So only the maximum or 0 will be awarded. So you look at M, look at the sample below. Client, therapist, treatment area prepared for treatment according to health, hygiene, hands sanitized. So the judges will be around. Sometimes you may not know that the judges are looking at you. Actually, they're walking around. From far, they can see what you're doing. So you must make sure you prepare the area according to health and hygiene. You sanitize the area. Finally, it is written there, hand sanitized. So jury 1 may say, no, she did not sanitize the hands. Jury 2 may say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see. The third one will say, she did not sanitize. So automatically, the judgment score there will be a cross because you don't give half a mark. I hope you understand what I mean. And this is where most of you failed to score marks. All right? You fail to score marks because it is through observation that the jury is there to look at you. Of course, the jury is there and we have official shop assistants. That means the area assistants and even the timekeepers. Sometimes a timing is required. Like look at the 5th one, the last one, massage is performed for 10 minutes. And you get only 0.5 marks. The judges will not take your timing, but the official timekeeper will take your timing. And then it is recorded on the official paper. Okay? So valid proofs of timing recorded on official timing sheets and signed off by official timekeepers. And then recorded proofs will also be carried out by the jury, especially when you call for a checkpoint. Okay? Eye makeup completed. So judges will come. They will check. When you call for them, they will check. These are proofs of using a cotton bud or facial cotton. All this will be placed on the wall around you with your bed number or your number written there. So recorded proofs also, as well as if there is an argument, then these proofs will all be shown. So accordingly, this system is very, very fair. All right? 3 jury is very fair, because then we will not have a tie where we have, there is always 2 against 1 or 1 against 2. All right. So I hope you understand the assessment and marking scheme. Now, I have a little thing to tell the trainers and those who are preparing for competitors or training for people who are coming just to learn the trade. Training, again, I repeat myself, you can make mistakes during training. But trainers, you must be honest, you must pay attention and tell them, look here, this is wrong. Don't let the mistake pass. If you let the mistake pass, the trainees will not understand that under world skill, ASEAN skill, or national skill, they are marked down because they are not told that it is wrong. You can afford to make mistakes during training, but you can't afford to make mistakes during a competition, right? So that's all about the assessment. Now let's look at the test projects. I will not be spending a lot of time talking about the test projects because it's very simple. We are adopting the national skill, we are adopting the test project from Worldskills as well as ASEAN skill. But definitely it will cover all the WSOS below. Remember, the first one is work organization and management, 8 marks, professional demeanor, 6 marks, client care and relationship, 6 marks, temporary hair removal, 10 marks, face is 30, body is 25, feet, hands and nails, the rest of it. Now you take note, test project is a series of standalone modules. Sometimes there is a mixture, maybe body therapy together with French nail, but each is standalone. Each will have their own assessment marks and the system. And then the test project is designed from the following 6 criteria below. And the test project modules are developed by independent people. And for Worldskills, it's longer. It can stretch 16.5 hours to 18.5 hours. ASEAN is usually like maybe 14.5 to 16.5. National, we normally do only 3 days. We also do about 12.5 to 14.5, or even slightly more. That's a test project, okay? All right, now, this slide is important in the sense that I am just repeating what I said, and I want trainers to take note of this. Actual marking areas with reference to WSOS. Test project A, facial treatments. So the marks that is given will be facial treatment skill performance. That means you have to carry out the skill. And then you are again given marks for work management separately, professional demeanor, client care, relationship, and sustainability. Now, this is repeated in test project A, test project B, C, D, E, and F. I hope you know what I'm talking about. In the test project, sometimes it is being set up in such a way that you have facial treatments for maybe 3.5 hours or 4 hours, and then body treatments, also 3 to 4 hours. Pedicure, manicure, and nails, these are actually put into the other test project. It could actually go into facial treatments or into body treatments. And then when it comes to nails, it can go into makeup too, because makeup artistry comes with the fantasy nails or whatever normal nail painting. All right. Temporary hair removal is by itself, because temporary hair removal, you have to show us your technique of doing hot and warm and sugar. Okay. And lash and brow enhancement, again, is by itself for 1.5 hours. But you notice that I have put in work management, professional demeanor, client care and relationship together with sustainability. In every test project, besides your skill ability, besides your skill performance, you have all these 4 sections inside your test project. And sometimes you can lose totally so much of the marks there. So far, from my past experiences, I think you lose marks in this work management, professional demeanor, client care, relationship, sustainability. Because you forget to actually look into your trainees' trolley setup, bed setup. You forget to look into how they welcome the client, how they send off, how they dress the client, their attitude. All right? And then you forget to look into the wastage of products. Sometimes for a body massage, they are given a small little bowl to collect the oil. For just a body, they put a full bowl of oil inside. So jury panel will be walking around observing. This is where the sustainability comes in. Now in Kazan, we started this, and then there is an award, meaning to say they check your box every day. Okay, they not only check how you manage your materials, your tools, as well as your products, they will also look into how you organize your box. You will get all this during familiarization day, and you're given time to plan the taking of the things in an ergonomical way, so that you know how to take it out. Something that you need tomorrow, where do you put it? Do you put it under the box, right at the bottom, or do you prepare and put it on top? So that's what we are looking for. Now, 20 marks for this 4 section is a lot of marks. If you don't practice it, you will definitely lose a goal, right? You will lose the goal because 20 marks. So please take note. Now, this is one that I would like all of you to look into it in your training. Okay, this is a guideline. So it won't run too much. This is actually from Worldskills. Facial treatment, 30 marks. They will give you 10 and 20. Measurement 20 and 10. It is still about like 30%. Like I said just now, judgment must be only 30%, and measurement is 70. But there is a difference of up to 5 marks, 2 to 5 marks. And then body, 15 and 10. The judgment. Okay, when it comes to body treatments, you may find that there is a little bit more marks given to body, because this is the handling part, how you handle the clients and the body partner. And then your pedicure, manicure, fantasy nails, about 15 marks. Your lash and brow treatments, only 10 marks. But you don't think it's only 10 marks. If you lose part of the marks, you will end up, if every section you lose some marks, towards the end, you will lose a lot of marks. Temporary hair removal. It is 5 on judgment, 5 on measurement. Judgment is always the standards that you are showing. Measurement is always whether you do it or you don't do it. It's either a yes or no. And makeup, it is 8 marks and 2 marks for measurement. Because the 8 marks judgment is how you actually, create the look, the artistic part of you, your creativity part of you will come up, your blending of the colors and all that. The 2% measurement is usually what you must do, your arrangement, and what pre-procedure you must do for the model. Okay, a little bit about the infrastructure. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the infrastructure because in Worldskills, ASEAN Skills, most of the materials and tools are provided for. Materials and equipments are given. The only thing that you're allowed to take in will be tools. Okay, small tools like maybe they allow you to bring a eyebrow shaper. They will specify and say what it is. Or you can bring in a small scissors of your own. So in our national skill, I too instruct you to bring certain things. Okay, and then look at the 3 pictures at the bottom. You can bring in any size. I mean, it's not too big. It cannot be too big. It's just hand carry for you to take your own tools. Sometimes nail colors you can bring on your own. So that is the box that you bring in and it's locked up all the time. So in Worldskills, there is an official locker given to you. ASEAN Skill is the same. Our national skill, I also insist you bring in this. As the chief judge, I insist you bring in this, tag it. The jury panel will be there to check. Once done, you do the selection of numbers and that's it. Now, look at the sentence in red. Tools not allowed will be removed and kept by the workshop manager and returned on the last day of the competition. If you bring in, you try to smuggle in something, sorot lah. Sometimes you say, okay, this tool, I must have it with me, whether you like it or not. And you keep it, but you put it all out for us to check. We will take it out. You are not allowed this particular tool. So this tool, we will not give it back to you on the same day. We will keep it, locked it up. On the last day, you come back and claim it. So infrastructure list will be updated. Test project will be updated in the discussion forum. So if you are in Worldskills or ASEAN Skill, as the expert, you need to assess the discussion forum, and there is a discussion on all this. And once you have assessed, you must let your competitor and your trainer knows about it. Test project will not be released. It is only released on the what you call familiarization day. It will not be actually given to you, but it's given to you for some countries who cannot understand English, so they need to do translation. So once a translation is done, the next day they must give it to the chief expert for safekeeping. So that's how it works in a Worldskills scenario. And I think it is good that we are instructed to adopt whatever that is conducted in Worldskills or ASEAN Skill back in Malaysia so that we can familiarize. I think I've come to the end of my presentation. I thank you very much for staying with us. I thank all the listeners. I thank the moderator. I thank the JPK team. And thank you very much. Okay, just let me click off. Okay, yep.
Terima kasih pada Madam Evelyn yang telah membentangkan perkongsian selama hampir 2 jam juga ya. Okey, Madam, kita akan teruslah ke ruangan untuk Q&A sessions. Ada soalan-soalan yang telah disediakan dan telah ditanya. Ada lebih kurang, nampak macam ada 4 lah kat situ. Mungkin orang yang sama ke? Mungkin Madam boleh tengok sekali ya di skrin. Okey, soalan pertama tu soalan umum. Dia tanya apa hala tuju lah, directions pembangunan industri kecantikan untuk kekal berdaya saing, untuk terus kompetitif dalam 5 or 10 years coming. Apa yang seharusnya juru kecantikan ataupun juru estetik lakukan semasa pandemik supaya dia bidang kekal relevan untuk menjana pendapatan. Soalan kedua daripada Teah, saya bacakan sekali lah untuk yang general questions ni. Adakah bidang kecantikan yang lakukan pembaharuan memberikan impak yang maksimal pada isi kandungan juga? Apakah penambahbaikan yang dilakukan? Jika ya, apa penekanan yang diberikan dan saya tak nampak kat situ. Dan mengapa kot? Macam itulah. Mungkin Madam pun boleh baca tu dan menjawab soalan daripada Siti Hawa.
Okay. So same person.
Same person tapi banyak soalan tu.
Okay.
Mungkin ambil masa sikit untuk faham ke, Madam?
Alright. Do I have to go back into the page? No. I just
tak perlu. Madam just
okay.
Madam boleh terus jawab lah.
Yes, with the pandemic, I think the beauty or rather the service sector has been affected pretty, it has become pretty challenging, right? But we were closed down for 1 year plus for service.
Yes.
Yeah. But with the online training and all that, I think we can still continue. And we just hope that this pandemic goes off and the beauty section can actually develop. All right. But use this time, do whatever necessary, understand what you need to do if you are conducting training.
SOP?
Yes, the SOP.
Yes.
We have become very innovative because I do see some of my contacts, they wear face shield. They use the what you call gloves and all that to carry out the treatments. So if you ask me, how do I see it in this 5 to 10 years to come? I feel there is big business, and we can develop provided we go on the correct platform, meaning to say that we need to carry out a proper SOP, not only for the pandemic, so it is also for the service. You know, if we want to go global, we need to look at the global scene on what's happening. Because if you ask me whether we have been practicing that, being involved in competition, I think there are quite a lot of procedures that are not carried out. But if our beauty section make it certain that we will practice whatever that is of the highest SOP, there is great future for us. This 5 to 10 years, I can see it. Right? And meantime, we are talking about income. Are we talking about this menjana pendapatan? How do we
untuk dapat grossing?
Yes. On the service side, it may be a little tight now. But if you learn how to go online or even do a simple online and teach your client how to actually use the product, I think if you are carrying a product, you can still do it. To me, it is, sometimes we have to fit in the situation. We cannot, there's nothing much we can do if we are not allowed to open. All right. And meantime, what else can we do? Because we are involved in in the what you call other personal services, like you can work together with the hair salons, but hair salons are also not open. All right. So what happens is that you can actually do a business, recommend a business, go on to advise them how to use. Be something that is different. I don't know whether I've answered the question.
Mungkin dah jawab lah tu. Ya.
Yeah, because I can't tell you go and open your salon and do your business. No. At this moment, we have to listen to the what you call the Ministry of Health when they advise us. We just do it that way, right? And then what is number 2?
Number 2 is adakah bidang kecantikan, saya rasa ini nose ataupun
definitely.
Kandungan dia.
Okay. This is something that I actually wanted to brief you all. In what you call 2 years back, I think, I was again in the panel for beauty therapy, the nose panel for review. So we have actually changed quite a bit. We cover whatever I discussed just now. So it is through the nose, the implementation of the standards. So if every school and every agency knows how to follow the NOS, I think you are not far. Once the pandemic is over, you are okay. Okay. Now, this one we may touch a little bit on culture. Okay, on culture in the sense that I remember when I was, we were talking, brainstorming on the NOS. Then we talk about lash extension, brow shaping and all that. Worldskills, in fact, why I bring in Worldskills, they are aware. So now, lash extension, for certain countries who don't allow lash extension, we actually have used a biodoll. Remember, you learn the technique. Okay? How do you learn the technique? You learn it when there's a new situation created for you. So they practice this lash extension on the biodoll. Nails, okay? I understand when you polish your nails for prayers, you have to remove it, right? Yeah. So now what we do is that kita guna kuku palsu. You practice on a kuku palsu. So everybody is aware and take into consideration on the actual culture. Okay, we consider that. Okay. All right. I hope I've answered that.
Okay, soalan ni untuk bidang beauty terapi khususnya.
Okay.
Adakah bahasa Inggeris amat penting bagi mana-mana peserta yang ingin terlibat dalam bidang beauty? Terutamanya nanti kalau terpilih di peringkat antarabangsa lah. Itu soalan daripada peserta. Dan kedua, adakah saya model dalam latihan untuk modul massage mainkan peranan penting? Does size matter?
Oh, okay. Now, I'll answer the first one first about English language. Of course, in the global scene, English is the main language, right? English is the main language. But let me tell you, you don't have to go and take up an English language course just to understand, just to know English before you can be the skill. We are looking at skills. We are not looking at your language. But my advice is, since this is something that we cannot change that in the international scene, English language is used, learn the technical terms. In beauty, it's very simple. Okay, what happened is this. If let's say they tell you that your mask, you must leave the facial mask on for 10 minutes. So you just understand timing. Okay, timing, face mask, 10 minutes, call for judge. You'll just learn the technical terms. And if the training centers, if you are able to, you can use both languages, no problem. All right? So I won't say it's not important, but I won't say that you need to go and take up an English language course. You learn the technical terms according to your trade. All right? Okay, number 2, size model and latihan untuk model. Okay, when we choose the models, we always take into consideration, we give a certain size, a certain weight, and a certain height. So of course, we will not take models who are oversized unless when we go to a country where the people are very big. So that's it. So di Malaysia, pandai-pandai, when you let your girls train body massage, don't just always train on a small size body. Once in a while, get someone who is big, and then for the experience. So I think this can be easily solved.
Sebab kalau dalam pertandingan dia akan menggunakan model yang standard size lah, Madam.
Yeah. We normally for beauty, I normally ask for like 5 feet, 5'2". Okay, and the weight, if possible, 60 kg. If you are say 61, 60, because some people can be 62 kg, but you still look very small. It's okay. But I will not request for someone who is small and very tall, because our beds are only 6 feet.
Yes.
So we always take someone who is around 5 plus. So that one is no problem. But when I say no problem, doesn't mean that you don't try massage on a big body. You must. Because in Worldskills, you don't know what will happen.
Yes.
So just be prepared.
Prepare.
Yeah.
Okay, Madam, mungkin soalan terakhir daripada saya sendirilah. Mungkin tertanya-tanya juga kan.
Yeah.
Boleh ke peserta lelaki, boleh ke lelaki menjadi peserta? Worldskills ni sebab kadang-kadang bila pertandingan peringkat kebangsaan sendiri, kita tahu kalau bila beauty, even orang lelaki nak tengok untuk setengah model pun tidak dibenarkan masuk. Berlainan peringkat antarabangsa dia lebih terbuka lah kan. Tapi dan kita pun tak pernah tengok lagi peserta lelaki di Malaysia ni. Sebenarnya boleh atau tidak lelaki as the contestant ataupun sebagai kita punya peserta lah?
Okay. If you ask me for my opinion, skills, remember, skills has no gender. When I say that, I mean we have one of our other industry, I think electrical, City, is it? She's a lady, but she is involved in electrical. Yes. But in beauty, I have gone to Hanoi 2014. We have one male competitor. I tell you, he looks so professional. And he got a female model. We gave him a female model. He can perform as well, so well, in fact. And then in 2011, in London, there was one, Hungary. He's now an expert, and he's having a big, huge beauty business of his own. In Bangkok, 2018, from Philippines, I think we have one, a male. We don't reject them because I think we just look at the skills. But of course, coming back to Malaysia, when I arrange for test projects, especially body or even like waxing, we understand the culture here, so we don't allow. We don't allow, because we need to respect the models. I think we need to show respect to the models. We need to show respect to the race and the religion. So that's about it.
Tapi dalam skill sebenarnya tak ada
no
masalah
gender.
lah.
It's strictly said that in skills there is no gender. We don't talk about gender. So meaning to say that we are opening this industry to males who are not competitors. They come in to learn beauty. They set up their own shop. I personally know of someone. He is now coming to 60 years. He is still doing beauty, and he is a fantastic masseur. He specializes in body massage.
And professional.
Yes. Yeah. Important thing is you must be professional. Yeah.
Okay, Madam. Terima kasih kerana bersama kita pada hari ini, dan kita tak dapat jawab semua soalan, tapi mungkin Nanti kalau siapa yang ada sebarang pertanyaan dan juga maklumat nak tahu maklumat penganjuran pertandingan, bolehlah ke laman web JPK. Kalau nak tahulah ya, kalau ada pertandingan ke tak tahu ni ke apa ke, www.dst.gov.my/SkillsMalaysia atau boleh email ke skillsmalaysia@gmail.com, dan jangan lupa untuk follow kita di Instagram Malaysia Worldskills. Kat situ Malaysia Worldskills, mungkin sebarang maklumat kalau tak ada di Facebook, kalau Facebook kita Worldskills Malaysia, boleh juga dapatkan di semua media maklumat di semua media sosial ini. Okey, setinggi-tinggi penghargaan. Oh, terlupa kita nak umumkan pemenang kuis tadi kan. Okey, mungkin Sekretariat boleh paparkan. Okey, Tania, kalau tengok di skrin, kita ada 3 pemenang tu. Nama tu macam familiar lah. Okey. Okey, Tania, pada nombor 3 yang dapat tempat ketiga tu Siti Hawa Muhyiddin. Siti Hawa ni tadi yang banyak tanya soalan. Puan Khairul Nisa ataupun Ayu okey, dan juga Puan Syaliza binti Ahmad Pawab. Tania, nanti kita akan postkan hadiah ke alamat yang telah daftar masa pendaftaran tadi. So itu saja setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada Madam Evelyn Teah dari Review Lab Consultant and Partners atas pembentangan dan perkongsian menerusi platform Zoom dan juga Facebook Live Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran pada hari ini, iaitu hari terakhir bagi webinar fasa 1 lah kata. Semoga ia memberi manfaat dan kefahaman kepada semua peserta. Maka dengan ini berakhirlah fasa 1, dan bagi bidang beauty sebagai penutup, sebelum mengundurkan diri, kami mohon maaf sepanjang 5 siri dengan 10 episod perkongsian. Sekiranya ada sebarang kekurangan, kita akan cuba memperbaiki dari masa ke semasa, dan nanti kalau ada fasa kedua, sentiasa follow us lah di Facebook ke ataupun di Instagram. Akhir sekali, kita jaga kita, perhatian rakyat, darurat memerangi COVID-19. Semoga bertemu lagi. Sekian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.